500. Now, it is Wednesday morning and I am joined in studio by Gabriel McSharry, medical herbalist and a nutritionist. Good morning, Gabriel.
Morning, Margaret.
Now, if you have questions, of course, you can send them in to us to 083 3500 530 and call us at 0818 365 500. Now, we're going to start off with a few of the questions that we didn't get to last week. And we had a query in about a 12-year-old who is wetting the bed, and is there anything that can be done about it?
Bedwetting is, well, the medical term is enuresis, and it's something that a lot of kids have when they're quite young. There's a number of causes. It's not clear cut, but there's a possible hereditary tendency. Some cases are psychological in origin. Sometimes intestinal worms can be responsible for it. It's important that parents should not scold, but reserve extra affection and attention to the child. And that'll be kind of a recommendation because it's linked to the nervous system, and you know, if it's a very irritable or anxious child, it could be linked to that. But there's a number of things one can do. You know, at 12 years of age, they should be getting control of their bladder naturally.
And does that not seem a bit old for bedwetting?
Yeah, it will be in that. I suppose a lot of children would go through a phase of bedwetting, but it'd be in the earlier years, around 3 or 4 and that. But by 12, you'd hope that they'd have a conscious call by the body when to empty the bladder and so on. So definitely in this case, there's a few things that one could do to treat it. I guess on a herbal medicine front, there's urinary tract tonics that we use to tone the bladder and the area in case there was just a lack of tone in the muscles of the area. But a few general things would be instruct them not to have any fluids after 5 p.m. and to cut down the fluid volume in the bladder at night. As enuresis could be related to allergies, I'd instruct the boy to reduce intake of wheat and dairy if he eats a lot of them, and see if that has an effect. If he has a blocked nose and hence a mouth breather at night, that could be an indication that he's allergic to certain foods in his diet. I'd ensure that he's getting adequate exercise. It's very important. I'd avoid all caffeine drinks, coffee, tea, Coke. One suggestion is aromatherapy, which is burning essential oils at night time in the bedroom, like chamomile or lavender may have an effect. But on a herbal medicine front, I generally use astringents that tone the urinary tract, such as agrimony and trophor restoratives, which would good for normalising the urinary tract system. So Cretiva, Zeamaze, Uva-RC, they're all urinary tract tonics. Gentiana is a herb, very bitter herb, that's been used traditionally for enuresis or bedwetting. How it works, I'm not too sure, but it does have a positive effect. And if you think that the bedwetting is related to the fact that the child is anxious and so on, then chamomile, St. John's wort, herbs like that I'd use, Nervine tonics. So there's a few things one can check out.
And could this be down to as well, maybe the child been stressed out over school, or maybe not getting on with people, or there could be an underlying problem that's just making them anxious and making them bedwet?
Yeah, definitely. And as I say, even if the parents are anxious people, that passes on to the child, and
right.
That could be something to look at. But definitely, if he is anxious, I'd look at the underlying cause of that, and see would that improve things. Other than that, the few dietary recommendations there and certain herbal medicines. On top of that, there can be, I suppose, a structural thing that has been linked in the shape of the jaw, affects the breathing of the child in its sleep. So the child is more likely to be a mouth breather or a snorer if its jaw is maybe out of alignment. And this has been shown to affect the oxygen flow through the posterior pituitary gland, which lowers the secretion of antidiuretic hormone. So fixing breathing problem with orthodontic work can correct enuresis. So that's documented. So I suppose if there's a dental problem maybe, or orthodontic work needed, that could be also an avenue to go down.
Okay. Now, this person wants to know what wheatgrass is good for and how does it work?
Wheatgrass is full of minerals and trace elements and some vitamins, and it's taken as a supplement, as you'd add it to your daily diet. The best way to do it is to do it fresh. So you cut the grass and you juice it and drink it straight away. Like the constituents after an hour after juicing have completely changed. A lot of it's very high in antioxidants. Antioxidants counteract free radicals. We're exposed to free radicals throughout the normal day, and anything like through to pesticides, herbicides and stuff in foods, environmental toxins, fumes from cars or whatever, chemicals in our environment, they all become free radicals in the body. What counteracts them is antioxidants. So antioxidants are very important for longevity, anti-cancer, and just for general health. Wheatgrass is high in antioxidants. It also has chlorophyll and a myriad of trace elements. It's very good, but excuse me, the best way to do it is to grow it yourself and juice it straight away. I know in the cafes in Sydney when I lived there, all the cafes would have wheatgrass grown on the counter, and some people would go in and they just cut it there and juice it. You don't drink loads of it, you just drink a shot glass full of it.
Right.
And
that's it. And one a day would you take for one per day or something like that?
Yeah, one a day is fine. As I say, you wouldn't drink loads and loads of it. But if you incorporated one shot of wheatgrass a day into your diet, then that'd be great. It'd just be a great way of getting antioxidants
out of your system.
Yeah,
just clearing it out.
Definitely.
Okay, keep your questions coming in to us. 083 3500 530 is text. Call us at 0818 365 500. After the break, we're going to be talking about answering a query that came in to us about what could be taken to help the pain of arthritis.
Ocean FM. Northwest Today, with thanks to Enda Lannon Pharmacies, Ballisadair and Gurchin. For all your prescription and pharmacy needs. Enda Lannon Pharmacies, putting your health first. 071 9133 033. Ocean FM.
Bella Vista Bar and Bistro, Strand Hill, open 7 days. Christmas menus from €20. Gift vouchers available. Phone 9122 222.
Attention all farmers, car dismantlers and plumbers. Cash in this Christmas. All types of scrap metal wanted. Cash for scrap. Collection service available for larger volumes. Contact Earn Recyclers Sligo. Telephone 07191 53360. Cash for scrap. Cash for Christmas. Telephone 07191 53360.
It's a magical scene. Candlelight flickers, everyone around the table, the turkey and all the trimmings taking pride of place. Help yourself to potatoes, Mum, I say. Simply delicious, she says. You're a much better cook than I ever was. Simply gorgeous, you mean, I whisper. Remind me to tell you a little secret.
McCain Simply Gorgeous roast potatoes basted in flavoursome goose fat. Christmas with McCain. It's all good.
Johnston Court. For all the best Christmas gifts, discover all the best brands at Johnston Court Shopping Centre in the heart of Sligo. New stores open, including HMV, the Farmers Market every Wednesday, and come and see Santa Claus for free on the 12th and 19th of December. Santa will have free presents. And there's Johnston Court vouchers from Hardigan Brothers Food and Wine and from johnstoncourt.ie.
Joy is at Martin Riley BMW. Joy is finding a brand new BMW with efficient dynamics from an on-the-road price of just €25,430. Visit martinrileybmw.ie or call 071 917 0400. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Having difficulty hearing? Call Sligo, HAC Stephen Street, Sligo. We supply quality hearing aids with essential aftercare at no extra cost. Call 071 9144 004 for your free professional hearing test.
At EBS, we got savings all wrapped up this Christmas. So give your savings a Christmas present with our 5-month fixed savings account, giving you a festive gross rate of 3.5% for balances of €20,000 upwards. Happy saving. Drop into your local EBS or call 1850 20 36 36. AUR 3.54%, interest subject to DIRT. Maximum balance €500,000. No withdrawals or additional lodgements. Terms and conditions apply. EBS Building Society is regulated by the Financial Regulator.
To have your say, call the Northwest Today comment line on 0818 365 500. Text your comment to 083 3500 530.
And you're very welcome back to the programme. You can keep your questions coming in to us for Gabriel McSharry, medical herbalist and nutritionist, to 083 3500 530, which is text, and you can call us at 0818 365 500. Now, another question that we didn't get to last week was arthritis pain and anything that could be taken to help.
Yeah, arthritis is a big one. The treatment changes a little bit depending on which one. Is it rheumatoid or osteoarthritis? One is an autoimmune condition, another one is an imbalance in minerals and so on. But there's some dietary recommendations. People who have both arthritis would tell you sometimes that foods from the nightshade family, if you omit them, it improves the pain.
And what do you mean by the nightshade family?
Yeah, Solmanaceae is the botanical name, but it's tomatoes, green peppers, cane, eggplant, potatoes, tobacco. They're all from the same family,
right,
of plant.
Okay.
And it's anecdotal. The science isn't that clear on it, but you could try it, and if it works for you or whatever. I think things like sugar and grains are a hell of a lot more offensive, and avoid all processed sugars and grains. So table sugar, white flour, sweets, soft drinks, and increase things like flavonoid-rich berries. So blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, and they should be liberally consumed. Good quality cod liver oil is important, and omega-3 fatty acids. And some science showing glucosamine sulfate is beneficial as a supplement. Exercise is important. The best type of exercise are one that increase circulation to the joints and strengthen the surrounding muscles without placing excessive strain on the joints. So swimming is good here.
Going out for the walk and
walking, cycling, I suppose high impact sports. Even a rebounder is big now in the States for all elderly people with arthritis. A rebounder is like a small trampoline. Circular trampoline, yeah. And they just hold a banister and jump up and down, yeah. And it gives, I suppose, exercise to the joints without having real hard tension on the joints. Some really good herbs for arthritis, good traditional ones, and I guess inflammation is a big thing. So when it's present, botanicals that poses anti-inflammatory activity are recommended, and these include bromelain, curcumin, ginger, and herbs that improve bowel flora are also important in arthritis. Time and time again I see it in the clinic when I give digestive herbs, the arthritis improves, and probiotics and stuff. So I guess it gets at the endotoxin absorption thing I mentioned a number of months ago on the show. Devil's Claw or Harpagophytum percumbens is its botanical name. It's really good for both forms of arthritis, osteo and rheumatoid, and really good for the pain. It's anti-inflammatory.
Devil's Claw.
Yeah.
Make it easier. Yeah. Instead of the big name you're after giving.
And I have a cream too that I use topically, an arnica cream, or an arnica balm. And I make it myself, but it has arnica, wintergreen, camphor, and some methyl-containing herbs, and it's really good to reduce the pain. And it does a bit of healing as well. But the fix comes from diet, lifestyle, and other type herbs. But there is things we can do for the pain, yeah.
But there's an awful lot of these conditions have all to do with your diet and your lifestyle, though.
Well, definitely, yeah. But it just shows, I guess, how much our food chain has gone off the rails. To be honest.
Yeah, I think so. So would you think we should be eating organic? And
it's not so much organic. Organics are definitely better, but it's just the highly processed foods.
Do you think too many people would take the easy way out, maybe, or because of their busy lifestyles and that, and take something out of the freezer and pop it into the microwave and onto the plate?
You hit the nail on the head. It's down to convenience, and people are whatever busy all the time, but it's really good foods is falling by the wayside because of convenience. And a lot of the processed grains are so prevalent in every meal. So people get up and they think a good start to the day is a cereal and maybe a whole grain bread and a glass of juice. In my opinion, it's a really poor start to the day.
That is.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So
when you break it down, well, that's what I mean. That these common conceptions on what's good for you, and our food chain really and our perceptions of good food have gone off the rails. Mm-hmm. Cereals are highly processed and denatured grains. By the time they come off the end of the factory line, there's nothing much left in them that are good. It's just bulk fibre. And maybe they recently in the last 7 to 10 years started fortifying them with iron and vitamins, and it's because they market them to children, and they were open to being sued for marketing denatured foods to children. So these are really poor. Now an unrefined porridge is great. It's about the only cereal that I think is good. It's a traditional food.
And what do you think of people who say you should eat an egg a day, and others say no, that's too many eggs if you have an egg every day?
Yeah, I think it's a great recommendation.
Have it every day or not?
Have it every day, and have 2 a day if you want. This whole fear of cholesterol too has gone off. It's gone off the rails. Everyone's so afraid of fats and cholesterol, and it's down to marketing again. We're being programmed by advertisements by the food industry, and everyone thinks the best way to start the day or the happy way to start the day is a cereal, because on the ads on the TV, you see a happy family sitting around having their whatever denatured cereal, and they're all happy. Even the animals are happy. So again, people are afraid of fats, they're afraid of cholesterol because there's so much anti-fat and anti-cholesterol stuff. But eggs are really nutritious. They're such a nature's whole food of good fats and proteins in there, fat-soluble vitamins and activators. Eggs are a really nutritious food. Poached or boiled or is better than fried, because but they're a really nutritious food in my opinion.
Okay, so you need to watch your diet. Okay, some of the questions that are coming in. 7-year-old seems to be hyperactive, can't settle down to homework or anything like that. What would you recommend?
Right, I'd need to kind of ask a few more questions about that, in that a 7-year-old that's hyperactive, kids sometimes that are hyperactive, it's hard to know, are they have they too much energy, or are they actually exhausted? So an adult, if it's exhausted, would be fatigued and wrecked, and sometimes a child, a sign of fatigue is that they're hyper. But here I definitely look at again foods like high sugar foods and stuff. Is the kid eating a lot of grains and high sugar foods or juices, and I'd largely reduce that, because that's going to overstimulate the system, Mm-hmm. And what's his sleeping pattern like? So if he doesn't sleep that well, that's where I'd use herbs. Normalise the sleeping pattern, get him on a good diet, and over time his energy energy levels will plateau, and he won't be hyper or he won't be exhausted. And
so you're watching, like, if he's drinking too much fizzy drinks maybe, or
definitely, yeah. But also fruit juices, 100% fruit juices can be quite high in sugar, and I'd watch that too. But grains and sugar are the big ones there. And he could be overstimulated, and then if he's sleeping bad, he's exhausted and he's hyper and probably bad moods and moody. And
so this all goes back to diet again.
Diet and lifestyle, yeah. Diet and lifestyle. Is he sleeping well, or is he watching TV, playing video games all the time? He's not exercising in fresh air and sunshine and so on.
So just make sure he's not a couch potato as well, and maybe staring at the telly all the time or playing video games.
Yeah, these are the things I go through everything in a consultation. Like, I might spend an hour with the child and his parent, just going through all these things, and then we put them on a program to kind of write everything. Okay. And over time, it's very effective.
Okay, Gabriel McSharry, these questions are coming in for you now. Perfect breakfast. There you go. They all want to know now, what do you recommend for breakfast? There's all types of cereals coming in here. Obviously, we're not going to name all the cereals. And so what is an alternative for a good breakfast? Give us answers, they're saying. There you go.
Well, on the cereal front, as I mentioned, porridge is really good.
And would you make your porridge? You know how some people make it with milk, some people make it with water.
Yeah, I'll tell you the best way to do it. Soak it overnight in water, and it pre-digests. So leave it on the counter in some water overnight, and then add whatever you want to it in the morning. If you're okay to digest milk, put a bit of milk onto it, or do it on water. But also you can jazz it up, and here's how to make it really healthy. Put some blueberries through it, or some pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds. Get some seeds in there if you like nuts, some walnuts on top of it, and you can soak them overnight in it as well. So then, a taste blend. A spoon of, or a half spoon of unpasteurized honey, so a raw honey, a good quality honey, or a good quality jam that's not made with sugar, and stuff like that can jazz it, and that could be very nice and very nutritious. But it's not convenient, like these.
You gotta get up 10 minutes earlier to make it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And some people like it hot and they boil it up or whatever, and that can be good too. But it's just not as convenient as your denatured cereal.
Yeah. So you take cereal, you take eggs.
Oh yeah, eggs are great, as I say, and don't be afraid of them. I get good quality eggs, so organic or at least free range, or if you have your own chickens, all the better. A lot of these eggs that come from birds that are in cages and stuff are really poor eggs, because the birds are in really poor health, and I wouldn't go near them. And they use antibiotics prophylactically in some of these animals, and they can pass through to the food. So good quality eggs, you don't need to limit them or be afraid of them. They're very nutritious. They'll satiate the body, keep you going until lunchtime or until break. Some people, because they have these denatured breakfasts, denatured cereals, and a sugary fruit juice or so on, their blood sugar flies up. And with that, then you secrete a lot of insulin to bring it down, and it comes down a little bit lower than normal, we'd say, because it was such a spike. And then you get this kind of hypoglycemic slump, so energy gets poor, and then you get sweet cravings or something just to kind of perk yourself up, and the cycle continues, and that's the roller coaster of the day when you start off with a really poor, denatured, high sugar, high processed grain breakfast.
Okay, so a nice breakfast. So now, just before we let go, and we do have a lot of questions in, which unfortunately we don't have time to get to, but we will get to them next week. We have one about the menopause. We've done the menopause last week, but what we'll do is we said we'll come back to that in the new year, just to refresh on that. Lady has an itch after having the shingles. What can she use for the itch?
I use a cream, chickweed based cream that I make in the clinic. She can give me a ring if she wants, and it's really good for the itch, reduces it. And I put another herb in there just for post viral activity.
Okay, and just wondering, is there any herbal medicine for chocolate cravings?
Well, there is actually Gymnema sylvestre is one for sugar cravings, where it increases your sensitivity to insulin. But it also has an effect that if you take it on the tongue, it numbs your perception of sweet things. So if you take it on the tongue and then you have something sweet, it doesn't taste sweet. So that's something that you can do it. But really, with chocolate and sweet cravings, you have to look at diet in general, and herbs can work really well if you use herbs for blood sugar and glycemia.
Okay, can you ask Gabriel what can this person take for diarrhea? This is the third time in 6 weeks. Bad for a few hours at a time. I'm on Nexium for tummy trouble.
How long are they on Nexium? Has it reduced your stomach acid too much? Because it's reduced your stomach acid, have you got a foodborne illness now and got some sort of intestinal infection? The thing about acid in the stomach, and a lot of people are on these antacids, and acid is a really powerful defense mechanism by the body in the stomach. So any bacteria that might be on food, or any infectious antigen or organism, the acid is going to kill it. Now, if you reduce the acid by an acid-lowering medication, you're taking down that defence, and you're more susceptible to gut infections, which presents generally in diarrhea. Get
Just
good probiotics in there, good herbs that'll kill a gut infection, good diet. Hydrate oneself if you're diarrhea a lot. Make sure you're getting a lot of fluids, replace lost fluids. It'd be something I need to talk to the person
talk to them about. Okay, Gabriel, and if they want to contact you, they can give you a call on
07191 22832.
And of course, you're back in with us next Wednesday, the last
That's right.
one, before the Christmas break.